Welcome back, traveler. I pray you have not forgotten our last adventure together, or at the very least, you have not forgotten me. Should you need a small reminder, though, this is your guide, Recon, the most humble of dream whisperers. You have gotten your feet wet when it comes to the mysteries of this realm, but rest assured, the dream world has much more to offer. And on that note, let me not keep you. I can feel you are eager to get started. Ah, I see. You are wondering what is on the menu for tonight. Well, traveler, these things have a way of being revealed in their own time. Until then, the most important thing for you to do is breathe. Inhale and wait for it. Exhale. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Focus on your breathing until that is all the sound that you hear. First to go is the sound of the fluttering of your eyelids. After all, what need does one have for physical sight when all things here are perceived through the mind's eye? Take another breath. The sound from the muscular contractions of your stomach are the next to go. After all, what need does one have for physical digestion when what the dream realm offers is not physical sustenance but a feast for the soul? Take another big breath, and even the slight bristling of the wind against the hairs of your skin disappear into the distant night. A stream of air rushes into your nostrils and soon after into your chest, sending a wave of vitality coursing through your every cell. Now all that is left to do is breathe. Breathe and repeat. But that's not quite right, is it? There is the tricky business with your pulsating heart, beating with the strength of 1,000 drums. Oh, such a strong sound. It will prove to be a distraction. But what's this? It seems to lack a certain purity, a different sound embedded within. Take a look, traveler. You feel something cool on your chest. The sensation is not altogether unpleasant, but it is sudden enough that you find yourself reflexively clutching at your chest. Your hands plunge through translucent skin with the swiftness of a spearfisher. Much to your surprise, your fingers wrap around flesh, your hands clench and unclench at the same beat to which your heart seems ever happily enthralled. You know not what force compels you, but your hands move to extract the heart from your chest cavity. Veins and arteries snap and twack like a tree forcefully removed from its roots. Still, you breathe. You stretch your hands out, and right above your fingers floats your immaculate heart, its rhythmic beating warping the shape of the white fog in which it is encased. With each beat, liquid gushes out from the fog, only to solidify one by one into 6 uniquely textured tentacles that probe the outer darkness like antennae. This is when you notice that all along you have been suspended weightless, your feet paddling to somehow stay afloat in an eternal sea of darkness. However, just beyond your reach, you see a thin film which seems to shimmer with each contact with a tentacle. And for a while, that was all there was. Human, heart, tentacles, barrier. Unfortunately, traveler, be it in your world or mine, peace is short-lived. The first tentacle is made of iron chains shrouded in flames. It shoots forward with a reckless abandon to smash against the shimmering barrier. The second tentacle, yellow and rope-like, shoots out with surgical precision to add more stress. A sticky green ooze is next and slowly corrodes the barrier with continued contact. Another, a cool blue satin sheet, assaults the barrier with its very aura, and a flash of orange consumes the barrier inch by inch. The last tentacle is light blue, and it falls to the ground with a heavy thump, sending a tremor that destabilizes the air itself. The barrier could not stand up against the combined assault. Each tentacle plunges into the darkness beyond, and when they emerge, they have in their clutches all manner of goods: gold, diamonds, steel, ruby, sapphire, delectables of all sorts. The tentacles would retract into the heart to deposit the goods, only to shoot out with all sense of urgency to grab all the more, faster and faster and faster, more and more. Their appetite could not be sated, and their heart would not fill. Overcome with curiosity, you snake your bony fingers around your heart once more and use the nails of your index finger to slice through and reveal the bounty inside. Piles and piles of shiny metal are stacked roof high. Precious metals are embedded into the walls, and the ground is tiled with white pearls. And it was hot. It was unbearably hot. But the air was nonetheless sticky and sweet with a taste of honey. It is a sound of hammering that draws your immediate attention. You see at the hearth a burly man bent over a piece of metal, beating it over and over mercilessly. He would periodically dip the metal in a steel bucket to quench, only to expose it to the unimaginable heat of the forge to his left. You watch as he forges piece after piece. When he had a pile of proven metal, he would climb on a ladder, rip out a piece of flesh to replace it with the metal. A small grunt of satisfaction would follow. Soon, he says under his breath, soon this heart of flesh will be no more. This was your heart. All you can think at that moment was that this is not an approved remodel, and this man was not invited in. So you circle your index finger like a hook to dispossess your heart of this grizzly of a man. Brother Pride, echoes a startled voice in the distance. Your plans were for naught. The bodies of the tentacle seize, dropping their possessions without hesitation. A childish snicker is heard before the sticky green goo twirls around your pinky. The red rope wraps itself harshly around your middle finger, threatening to sever it. The satin sheets twirl around your ring finger, masterfully bidding it to do its will. The orange languishes on the thumb, and the slothful light blue manages to make one revolution around your index finger before hanging limp, like meat on a butcher's block. Finally, the yellow rope settles on the middle knuckle. Gradually, it starts to twist and deform, and a humanoid shape appears. A tall and thin, bespectacled man sporting a yellow vest looks dispassionately out into the darkness. One thing is for sure, your hand is no longer your own. "Brother Greed, at your word," say the spirits within the tentacles, to the man riding your hand like a broken steed. You struggle to reclaim the sensation of your arms, but the more you struggle, the harder they fight back. Finally, Greed utters 2 words. "Find it." Your fingers clench into a fist and launch into the outer darkness, shattering the foggy and flimsy barrier. You still can see nothing, but your brain immediately registers sensations through the tips of your fingers. And what a panoply of sensations it was, from smooth metal to rough rock, wet river, dry desert, hot summer, and the chillness of the starkest of winters, and so much more at the tip of your fingers. Sensation after sensation your hand sweeps through, but only when your fingers twirl around a cylindrical plastic object does the voice of Greed once more echo, "Peace." Your hand comes out to the barrier of darkness, and when it emerges, you find yourself holding a syringe. Yes, a syringe. You peer closer and you see a label upon which the word numbness was crossed out, and peace had instead been hastily scribbled. The syringe was immediately tossed into the hands of Pride. "Patron, it is not yet time for the big reveal," he says, looking at you with a grave smile as the spirits chuckle. His eyes search for what little flesh remains, and he stabs the syringe in deep. There was no pain, no fear, just emptiness. Even within the dream, you find yourself falling deeper and deeper into yourself. Your dislocated heart returns to its rightful place. Your consciousness slips further and further into oblivion. Traveler, perhaps there will still be a dream within a dream for you, but if there is, I fear I cannot follow you there. But I'm sure our paths will cross once more in these lands. Until next time, it has been a pleasure.